Here's a short video clip taken from one of the 20 questions on the minimum fundable company test. Enjoy! Perhaps you don't have much experience working in a startup, or you've never been a CEO of a startup before. You may be tempted to hire a CEO to come in and run your company so that you have that credibility. Well, there are some pros and cons to that. Let's first talk about the pros. Well, first, that CEO that you hire will presumably have some startup experience, and that will be very helpful. And also, that person should have the ability or the experience in going out and raising money from investors. And presumably, they will also have some management skills that will help in running the company on a day-to-day basis. But there are also some downsides that I've seen this happen a number of times. The biggest one is that the hired CEO may not have enough motivation to really do what it takes to make the startup successful. In other words, if you and the founders have the majority of the stock of the company, it can be challenging for you to give up enough ownership to the hired CEO so that they will be properly motivated to want to make this a success. If they're in it for only 5%, 5% or 10%, that's a limitation, and I've often seen them lose interest and not be successful in raising money. The second downside is that often when you bring a CEO in, they just don't have the depth of knowledge that you as a founder have in this space that you're operating your business in. And I've seen investors question a hired CEO, and often they have to say, well, I just don't know, I'll have to talk to the founder. And that doesn't create the right perception for an investor. And finally, in terms of managing the company, there can be some issues with authority and delegation and responsibility. In other words, who's in charge? If you are the majority stockholder of the company, but you bring in a CEO to be the CEO to manage the company, then you could have some problems about who's making decisions, and that can also cripple a startup and keep them from ever getting off the ground. So my fundamental advice is, unless it's absolutely necessary, I recommend that you don't hire a CEO, at least for your first round of funding. There are lots of CEOs of startups who don't have the experience, who are able to get their business off the ground and get funding from investors, and it's a great way to learn and get excited about your business and to convince investors that you've got what it takes to make it happen. And then, as your business grows, if you need those management skills, you can hire a CEO later. But for the first round, do it yourself. Thanks for watching. That was just one of the numerous helpful videos inside the Minimum Fundable Company Test. It's a quick and easy way for you to find out if your startup is investor ready. You'll get immediate results that pinpoint the areas you need to work on. So sign up now for free at mfctest.com.